Shalawama, shalawama. Okay, I'm Dr. Yasaf. I had some technical problems. I apologize. I'm here. Feel free to write something in the chat if you want to say something. Okay, I'm Dr. Yasaf. All right. Feel free to write something in the chat if you want to say something. Okay, so let's get going. So today we are talking about what's happening with the truckers. Okay, we're talking about what's happening with the truckers in the US. Okay, so let's get going. So today we are talking about what's happening with the truckers. Okay, we're talking about what's happening with the truckers in the US. So let's get going. So today we are talking about what's happening with the truckers. Okay, we're talking about what's happening with the truckers in the US. Okay, y'all give me a second. All right, let me try to get rid of that echo. Let me get rid of the echo. All right, so hopefully that solves the problem. Dang, it's still saying it's not streaming. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know if y'all can hear me or if it's streaming, but on my end it's saying that it's not streaming now. So let me try to figure out what's happening. What's going on with this? All right. Okay, so let me see now. Let's see what's gonna happen. All right, let's see what's happening now. It's unbelievable. Every time I try to go live, there's always some problem. So anyway, let me try to, now my browser want to close. Oh boy. Okay, so let me try to fix whatever is happening. So let's see. Okay, so it's okay. All right, so it's still it's okay. It's live. All right, so let's get started. I think I'm live. I hear myself on my cell phone, so I think I'm live. All right. So let's get going. So today we're going to talk about the U.S. truckers, okay? And the first time I did this, I don't know if you guys were able to hear the first time I did this, so I'm going to start over. So this live stream is about whether or not this trucker convoy that's headed from California to the U.S. Capitol, to D.C., whether or not that's a setup, whether or not it's a Trojan horse. Because it appears to me that what happened in Canada was a setup, was a Trojan horse. And why do I say that? Why do I say it was a setup? Because of the outcome. The outcome is martial law, right? So what better way to achieve martial law than to put it in the context of working people protesting, so on and so forth, right? And then the government reacting to what it sees as being an emergency. And then you can argue about whether or not it's an emergency, as opposed to the government just saying, okay, there's emergency martial law. Y'all see it? It's the outcome, the outcome that matters, not the event that led to the outcome. So secondly, how much sense does it make to do something that you saw had a devastating outcome at your neighbor's house, and then you're going to turn around and do it yourself, right? So when they arrive in DC at the Capitol and they start protesting, it's likely that the Congress or the president or some other entity associated with the US is going to say there's an emergency and declare martial law. That's very probable that they'll react the same way Canada reacted. Very, very probable, right? And it looks like it's honest and innocent. It looks like working people standing up for themselves, right? And who can get mad at that? Okay, who can get mad at that? And then you can debate whether or not martial law was required. But what's going to happen if martial law is implemented? Well, they're going to keep it in effect until they feel they want to take it away, right? That's how it works. That's what's happening in Canada, okay? That's what's happening in Canada. So the question is, and you can put it in the chat or you can call in. You can put it in the chat or you can call in. The question is it a Trojan horse, right? Are these unions leading their members? Are they sheep going to the slaughter? Are they being suckered by their union leaders? Okay, and so on and so forth. Are they being suckered? Okay, we'll see, won't we? Y'all give me 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second. All right, y'all, I'm back. So let me know what you think. Is this a Trojan horse? Is it a setup? Okay, is it a setup? Are the union leaders being used by the elites to create the situation, to give the excuse where the US can say we have a national emergency, lockdown, martial law, right? And is this a smart thing to do? Is it a smart thing to do? Okay, let's take a look at this one news clip, okay? Let's take a look. Is there another commercial? So let's just take a look at this, okay? Let it queue up. The U.S.
National Guard will be on the streets of D.C. ahead of those possible trucker convoys.
One of which could be here as early as tomorrow. The mayor's office says that the National Guard was authorized to help with traffic control. Fox 5's Lindsay Watts joining us live from Southwest answering your questions. Lindsay.
Convoy that we know of is getting ready. Our organizer I spoke to says he's still planning to be here tomorrow.
We intend to circle Washington, D.C.
Our story with Bob Bolas went national after he told me Sunday he planned to get to D.C. Wednesday night and shut down the Beltway.
I'll give you an analogy of that of a giant boa constrictor.
Now he tells us he won't shut down the Beltway, but plans to drive on it. That is, if he gets enough people to join his convoy from Scranton. He says law enforcement contacted him about his plans following our interview. Meanwhile, in California, we have 20, 30 trucks here right now. Maureen Steele is an organizer with the People's Convoy that's getting ready to head out Wednesday. She says they're expecting a large number to join them on a 10-day cross-country trip.
What is the plan when you get here?
We're not releasing that until we're closer to DC.
She says only convoy leadership know the plan, but they will follow the law and are vetting every truck.
And we have security teams that have been hired. We have bomb sniffing dogs.
The DC region also focused on security. It's beefed up tonight and will be even tighter Wednesday when DC police put civil disturbance units on the streets. School districts are warning about impacts, and DC government employees are being told about disruptions that could last through mid-March.
What would you say is the number one thing that you would want to see come of this convoy?
Well, freedom.
We asked for specifics, considering COVID mandates are being lifted nationwide.
Freedom from
The freedoms that we've been stripped of and liberties we've been stripped of for the last 2 years, we want our freedoms back.
So did y'all hear that? So a lot of these COVID mandates are being lifted. So why do it now? Why not sit back and let everything be lifted? Why go do something that's going to jeopardize or give the US an excuse to declare martial law? Doesn't make sense, right? Does not make sense. So is this an excuse since now the public has pretty much said, we're not going to let you keep us in a mask or force you to take vaccines, force us to take vaccines? Are they saying, okay, well, now we're going to find another way to put you on lockdown, which is martial law, right? Y'all see what I'm trying to say? So what do you think? What do you think? Canada has declared martial law as a result of this same type of thing, going to the Capitol, obstructing traffic, right? Okay, same thing. And they're going to do it. Also, where do they get the money to buy the bombs, to have the bomb sniffing dogs and to check everybody out, to do the screening? Where's that money coming from? Who's funding this? Y'all see what I'm saying? Who's funding it? So what's really happening? Okay, there's no need for this protest. Okay, as we just saw. So this is a very, very curious type of thing. It does, for me, it seems suspect, very, very suspect. Okay. But on the surface, it seems, oh, the working people, they're standing up, protesting, doing things that citizenry are supposed to do. Okay. But looking beneath it, to me, it looks like a Trojan horse, a scam. But we will see, right? We will see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, I really hope I'm wrong. Let me stop the screen share. Let me see if I can find something else. I had another video in mind, but I lost it. This is my second time trying to do this video, yo. Okay, so that was the one with the National Guard. Where is that? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to find it. Okay, so CBS this morning did a piece on it. So let me cue this up. Give me 1 second now.
Washington, D.C. is calling in.
Give me 1 second. This is the same topic on CBS this morning. So feel free to put some comments, your comments in the comment box, or if you want to call in, you can call in. All right, so let's go ahead and cue the video up.
Washington, D.C. is calling in hundreds of unarmed National Guard troops ahead of protests like this month's truck blockade in Canada's capital.
So again, why do something that was a failure? It was a failure in Canada. Why do I say it was a failure? It was a failure because now there's martial law. The Canadian government they have an excuse to take away more of people's rights. They have an excuse to do whatever they want to now. And they can use any reason or no reason at all just to extend it to keep it going. So that's a loss. This idea that the truckers came and they protested and that's already a win. No, that's not a win. It is a loss. It is a loss. In fact, it's a major loss. Okay, a major loss. Why? Because they're in a worse situation now than before the protest.
Willers jammed the streets of Ottawa, disrupting life for 3 weeks to protest vaccine requirements. Organizers in this country say a series of truck convoys will soon be going to Washington, arriving before next week's State of the Union address on Capitol Hill. Scott McFarland is in Vienna, Virginia, outside Washington. Scott, good morning.
And Nate, good morning to you. The head of one of these convoys tells me the goal is to slow or stop traffic right here. The Washington Capitol Beltway, a 64-mile highway that surrounds the nation's capital. They say they'll largely try to stay outside the city limits to avoid any run-ins with federal law enforcement. So Virginia and Maryland State Police tell me they're on alert and monitoring truck movements. For weeks, trucker convoys caused disruptions in Canada, restricting travel between Canada and the United States as they protested vaccine mandates. The convoys here, the leaders say they expect hundreds of trucks in this area by next week. The head of a convoy out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, leaving this morning, says they too are protesting vaccine mandates and mask mandates and rising gas prices. You recall there were warnings of possible convoys outside the Super Bowl in Los Angeles earlier this month. It never materialized, but that the Defense Department has called up the National Guard for this mission. Data may be a sign they're taking no chances.
So y'all see that? The Defense Department called up the National Guard. Okay. And the State of the Union, if I heard him correctly, the State of the Union address is next week. Okay, and they're going to disrupt that. So this is absolutely foolish if it's not a plan or a Trojan horse is what I want to say. If this is not a Trojan horse, this is foolish. Okay, so anyway, that's all I have for y'all. We'll see what happens with this. And this is really too bad that this is going to happen. But anyway, always have to remember that the people we are dealing with are tricksters. Don't believe anything. Don't believe anything. All right. With that, I'm going to say Shalawama. Make sure you subscribe to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. You'll learn everything about your language, Ibaryath, pictographs, culture, grammar, Ibaryath word studies. You're going to get 225 vocabulary words and so much more. It's 113 videos. It's $1 for a one-day trial, $10 to subscribe, and that's basically giving it away for free. This class of market value of this streaming self-study course is at least 10 grand, at least 10 grand, okay? But we're making it available for almost free so that no matter where you are in the world, no matter what the value of your currency is, you can still subscribe and return to the Most High, right? So why am I always saying return to the Most High? Let's look at the Bible Hub, Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8. Okay, and this should be drilled into your head right now or by now. Amplified Bible, how can you say we are wise and the law of the Most High, so that law would be the instructions or commandments, right? How can you say we are wise and the law or the instructions of the Most High is with us and we are learned in its language? What's its language? It's Ibaryath, and its teachings. What are its teachings? That's the instructions, the law, the commandments, right? How can you say that? We're learned in Ibaryath, and we're learned in the Most High's instructions. Behold, the truth is that the lying pen of the scribes, that's our ancestors who became the dark priesthood or the black priesthood. Behold, the truth is that the lying pen of our ancestors, the scribes, has made the law or has made those instructions into a lie, a mere code of ceremonial observances. By definition, that means religion. What are the major religions? When did Jeremiah live? Jeremiah was living right at the time, at the beginning of Babylonian captivity, okay? So what are we seeing? Judaism, the religion. We're seeing Christianity in all of its various forms, and the Islamic religion. All right, everybody see that? Our ancestors wrote lies and created these various religions, okay? That's why it's so important to learn Ibaryath so that you can begin to read, translate, render Ibaryath words into English and understand what's written in the original documents, or as original as we can find them, right? That's why this streaming course is so important. This gives you the foundation, the comprehensive introductory information that you need in order to become an independent, self-sufficient learner, where you don't need a priest, you don't need a pastor, you don't need an imam, rabbi, moreh, or anybody else. You become self-sufficient. You can translate and render on your own. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so scroll down the page. Scroll down the page to get the background information. And eventually you will get to the syllabus, okay? Or the curriculum, all right? So here's where you subscribe, y'all. See, there's your $1, your $1 for one-day trial. You cannot beat that. 113 video lessons. This course is valued 10 grand, $10,000. And you can get it for one day to try it for $1. For $1. Okay, and to subscribe is basically free because it's only $10. Go out and try to take a Hebrew class in your community or at a university. And that's not even our language. That's not ours. That's theirs. It's not ours. And see how much they charge you. See how much they charge you for something that's not even yours. All right. All right. So I'm Dr. Yasapa. Thanks for watching. Reach out to me if you have any questions. If you have any comments or statements or protests, put it in the comment section and I will respond. Shalom.